Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, we're going to talk about the tools that make content creation super easy. You're going to want to watch this. Let's go. Hey, what's up friends? You're watching Fancy Pants Media, where we are all about taking your media, marketing, and your content creation to the next level. My name is Nick, and I just love helping you when it comes to content creation. Today, we're gonna be looking at some of the tools that I use to make sure that what I'm getting in my video is crispy, making sure my audio is precise, and just the environment around me is easy to capture in. I'm gonna walk you through a couple of things that you're gonna want to add to your arsenal that are going to make content creation a breeze. So if you're all about leveling up your video skills or your marketing or just content creation and social media in general, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because that's what we're going to be talking about here and today. So you might be asking yourself, hey Nick, like why should I even trust you when it comes to content creation? And I've been doing this for over a decade. And the thing that I love is I love getting crispy video, but I also love helping you make sure that your video just looks on point. I see a lot of mistakes. We're not gonna cover those today, but this is going to help you be better. And a lot of times what made me get better was I hated the quality of my video. A lot of times I would shoot something and the colors would be off. I would shoot something and something would be out of focus. I would shoot something and I would just ramble for hours. And then when I brought it into my editing, I'd be like,
who's this idiot in front of the camera?
But nonetheless, these are gonna be a few things that are gonna help you when it comes to getting your content dialed in just perfectly. A couple of things that I hope you discover. I hope you discover that you can make content creation a lot shorter, a lot faster, and more frequently. So that's the goal. Shorter, faster, frequently. If you like that, give this a thumbs up. The first thing I'm going to show you is going to be a teleprompter. Now, a teleprompter is key in getting what you want said on camera. Without a teleprompter, you're just flying out there free in the wind. And what I love about using a teleprompter is that I know exactly what I'm gonna say at the exact time. And while I'm looking straight at the lens, I could also be reading. So that way you, the audience, doesn't know if I'm using a teleprompter or not. What I love about the Padcaster Parrot teleprompter is it's very small, it's easy to travel with, and all you need is your phone. You don't have to get this big expensive iPad and have this huge piece of like gear and glass that you're going to mount to your camera. It's really, really simple, it's really small, and it looks really great. And maybe you're wondering, how do you connect this to your camera? Like how does it actually work? And all you use is a filter ring, and you screw the appropriate filter ring onto your lens, and it actually sits right there. It's really light, so it's not gonna do any damage to your lenses. It's a pretty good way to go. The only thing that I would say is be careful when you put the actual teleprompter on here, because it's going to shake. Make sure you're holding the bottom of your camera really well so you don't apply unnecessary pressure to your lens. That would suck if you broke your lens and broke this thing. I'm gonna say it's not the highest build quality, but it's good enough. So keep that in mind when you're adding this to your arsenal. The second thing that I find that helps me make content quicker is going to be a camera with great autofocus. Canon and Sony have some of the best autofocus cameras. Currently, I'm shooting on the Sony A7C. I love this camera. This is fantastic because no matter where I go, the tracking is going to follow, and that is so important. Another important thing that you have to think about when you're looking at an autofocus system is making sure that your lenses are compatible. If you're getting cinema lenses that don't have autofocus within them, they're not going to work. I've seen people make this mistake over and over again. Same thing with vintage lenses. You want to find manufacturer lenses that have been tested with the autofocus to make sure your autofocus is crispy and nice. Point and shoot cameras have this, and your iPhones have this as well. But what I find is that cameras that have like a full frame sensor or an APS-C sensor with a shallow depth of field that can track the eye is the best way to go. I'll have a couple of recommendations below for the best autofocus cameras that are going to help you make better content this year. The third thing that I find that helps me make content really fast is going to be a prime lens that is more than 50 millimeter focal length. What I mean by that is looking at something like the Sony 51.8 or the Canon 51.8 with autofocus is great. Now, if you don't have the money for that, there is a great budget-friendly option. It is the Helios 44-2. It's a 1.8 58 millimeter lens, but the characteristics of this lens are gorgeous. And what I use this for, I use this for product shots. When you have a product shot with a 51.8, it just looks really, really good. It focuses your audience's attention straight to that product. And I know if I'm shooting product shots, I'm going to one lens only. Hey, just one quick thing when it comes to a 50 millimeter, you wanna make sure that your image is stabilized. You don't wanna be using it handheld or having this shaky footage. Make sure it's on a tripod and make sure your motion is very, very, very smooth. The fourth thing that has helped me create content quickly is to have a lighting setup that is set in place. Now, I like a lighting setup that has a key light and a hair light that can be flipped. And what I mean by that is I'm able to either shoot one way or I can actually reverse the shot 180 degrees. Having your lighting in set positions is going to help you because wherever you place the camera, you're going to have light coming towards your face for the key light, and you'll also have that hair light in the back. And as they are diagonal across the room from each other, it's going to be really easy. All you have to do is just push the light a little bit more on whichever one that you want, or you can just turn the other one off if you want to have like a more of a dramatic effect. Having said that, the lighting that I choose is a Quasar T8 daylight balanced bulb. This is really inexpensive. It only comes in around $70 and it is a great option to have. I have it for my streams. I also have it for my key light. It is just a really good light. The CRI is at 97%. And if you don't know what that means, it means it looks freaking beautiful. The second light that I use for a key light or a hair light is going to be the Aperture Lightstorm 120D Mark II. This is great because it comes with a remote and you don't even have to walk anywhere, and you just hit the button, you're ready to go. These are great lights to have within your setup. And so wherever you are, they're great to have. They also tear down really easily. So if you have to go on location, you can bring them along. If you are going to use the Quasar Science, I suggest you get a dimmable switch. It plugs into the plug itself. That way you can have some control of how much output the light is going to put out. It's really, really cheap. It's like 10 bucks. There's a link in the description below so you can have that as you get this. I promise you, if you get this without the dimmable feature, you're just gonna be blown out, or you're gonna have to get like an ND filter and put that on the front of your lens for every single shoot because it's way too bright out the box. The final suggestion that I have to make content really easy and make it streamlined is going to be in the audio department. It's kind of like a 2-for-1. It's two things, but they go together like babies and
pizza and pineapple. There we go. We got it.
So the first thing that you want to get is you want to get a very nice mic. There are a couple of options that you can go with. If you want to get like a podcasting mic, that could work. If you want to get a shotgun mic, that could work. And if you want to get like an onboard camera mic, that's what I'm using right now. It's the Rode Video Mic Micro. It's really tiny and small, but it gets the job done. Now, if you were to hear the audio straight from the camera, it doesn't sound the best. The second thing I suggest is a couple of plugins. And what I currently use is something called RX8. And what it does, it allows you to repair any damage to the audio. The second thing I use is Neutron 3. Neutron 3 is really nice because it allows you to shape your sound in a very distinct way. So if you're a music producer or if you're recording podcasts, this is a great tool to have. Finally, there's something called Ozone 9 that rounds it out. It's a bit of mastering. And so whenever you think about your process for audio, I think that Isotope has the best bang for the buck to get your audio sounding clean and professional. Hey, just a side note, if you have a podcast, these are great for podcasts as well. I really like a setting on there called NPR Voice. It's within Neutron 3. Just go down to dialogue, you hit dialogue, and then there's one at the very bottom. It says NPR Voice. It does magic to vocals for podcasts. I wouldn't put it on singing, that sounds weird. Having great mic technique and also having these plugins to clean up any of the hisses, the miss, or just the noise from the camera itself is going to do you wonders. Wonders. Hey guys, I hope these tips of audio, lighting, sound, and lens are helping you to create content a little bit faster and to think about the way that you're creating content. For me, having these things has been game-changing when it comes to quickly knocking out content. Now, I will say this, you might be somebody who's on a budget. I'm gonna tell you, your phone is your best friend when it comes to creating content. If you wanna create content, knock it out with your phone. Prove to yourself in the world that you can do it, because that is more important than having just fancy gear that sits there and collects collects dust. My name is Nick. If you want to ask me any questions, you can hit me up in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts. What is a game-changing tool that you've added to your content creation arsenal that has made a huge difference? Let me know in the comments below. And until we chat again, I hope you tell the world a great story. Peace.